Hello MUS 2020 students. If you're importing MIDI data into MuseScore, say if you created something in Ableton that you want to then edit in a notation editor, instead of creating a new score, all you have to do is click out of the Start Center, go to File, Open, find your MIDI file, and then select that. It will open in a new tab with the MIDI import panel displayed at the bottom. This lets you requantize if needed, ensure that notes are dotted, adjust durations to simple ones, and detect a pickup measure. Hit Apply, close the MIDI import panel, and at that point you can save your MIDI file as a MuseScore file. Here I've imported a movement from a song cycle that I'm working on for tenor, piano, and computer. You can see that there's a couple of things that it didn't import correctly. It's calling the computer cues drum set, and it's doubled the name of the tenor and the piano. These are things that I would have to edit. It also did not import any of the lyrics for the tenor, which is kind of a problem, and it didn't incorporate any of my dynamic markings. These are just things that I would have to edit. I could, at this point, copy everything on a line-by-line basis, or the entire file, into a new MuseScore file. I would do that by hitting Control-A or Command-A on a Mac, copy with Control-C or Command-C, and then just pasting it into a new open score. If you want to add instruments or adjust the instruments that are in your MIDI file, hit the letter I to bring up the instrument dialog. Here, I can go through and do things like hide the cues. I could maybe rearrange the piano or rearrange the tenor. That looks pretty good. When your piece is complete, you want to save it. Control-S or Command-S will do that. By default, it will save directly into Documents/MuseScore/Scores. I don't want to save it there though, so I'm going to go to my desktop and then save it in the folder where I'm saving everything. At this point, I can also export everything as a standard MIDI file and then import it into Ableton Live or another program. This is really easy to do. You go to File, Export, and then change the type. By default, it wants to save it as either a PDF, a graphics file, but you can also save it as wave audio, FLAC audio, MP3, etc. However, here is what we want. Standard MIDI file. I'm going to select that, and then again, navigate to where I want to save it. Now, I've exported it, and at this point, I can open it in Ableton. This is really simply accomplished just by opening Ableton and dragging it directly and dropping it into the timeline. You will end up with as many MIDI tracks as you had staves in MuseScore. So here I can expect at least 2, depending on if it decided that the piano was split to 1 or 2.